Show on EWTN Radio. This is Michael O'Neill. I'm the Miracle Hunter. Some years ago, I remember I was invited to speak in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and I probably gave my usual talk that I'd been giving those days, which was how the Catholic Church investigates the supernatural. And I was invited there by a man. His name was Patrick Norton, and he invited me to speak. And while I was there, he took me to a grave site, actually, of a nun, and her name was Sister Annella Zervas. And he explained to me a little bit of the story, and later he showed me some relics and some mementos from her life. And he talked about how he thought that she might someday be a saint. And of course, I thought I was interested in this. I do this television series called They Might Be Saints on EWTN, and also have the book They Might Be Saints. So future American saints are something that is a great interest to me. And so fast forward some years later, just this past week, we saw some news coming out of the USCCB, the United States Council for Catholic Bishops, and they announced 2 causes for canonization from here in the United States that will be moving forward. And one of those causes was that cause of the nun whose grave I stood and prayed in front of all those years ago in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and that was Sister Annella Zervas. So we were so excited to see the movement on this cause and to see something sort of from the ground up. I got to see sort of the movement behind the scenes that proposed this cause and allowed it to be recognized in a way that it can move forward into the diocesan phase before someday, perhaps, Sister Annella Zervas will be recognized as a venerable, then a blessed, then a saint by Rome. So plenty of things to pray for on this one. But we're so excited to be joined today by the Diocesan Postulator for the Guild of Sister Annella Zervas, and that is Amanda Zervas. Welcome to the program today, Amanda.
Oh, thank you, Michael. It's so good to be here to share about our beloved Sister Annella Zervas.
Yeah, what an exciting bit of news that came out of that bishop's meeting this past week. I'm sure that you and everybody else associated with the cause was absolutely overjoyed to see that positive vote where all those bishops weighed in to move forward on this cause. But as we just get out of the gate here, I think that people are so interested to know, who is this person? Who is Sister Annella Zervas?
Sure, Michael, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity to be here, and hello to all of our listeners today. It is such an exciting moment in the study of Sister Annella's life. And to share a little bit about her right away, so Sister Annella was a Benedictine nun who has really inspired countless souls, individuals, families, married couples, for almost 100 years now to deepen their relationship with Christ and the Church. So her Christian name was Anna Cordelia, and she was born on April 7th, 1900 in Moorhead, Minnesota, which is the Diocese of Crookston, about as far north as you can go in Minnesota. And at the age of 15, she entered the Benedictine convent in St. Joseph, Minnesota, which is the Diocese of St. Cloud, where she professed her final vows in 1922. So Sister Annella is actually known for many things, thanks to her biography, which is Ticket for Eternity, which can be found on our website, the Guild's website, which is sisterannella.org. And it highlights several attributes about her kindness, her sense of humor, her deep devotion to the Eucharist, and her love for the Blessed Mother. But most importantly, Sister Annella is known for her profound acceptance of suffering. So Sister faced a mysterious illness, a skin disease, and also sometimes forgotten a stomach disease or some stomach issues that caused also great physical pain. And the stomach pain actually caused her not to be able to eat much, and her skin disease involved violent chills, high fevers, and a really intense itching. And her body would exfoliate a pint and a quart of skin each day. It's pretty amazing. And remarkably, she embraced physical trials as a way to unite herself more deeply with Christ and offered her suffering for her own salvation, but also the salvation of others. So she died on August 14th, 1926 at 26 years old. So her story really is just a powerful witness of the redemptive value of suffering and the beauty of complete trust in God's plan. She never prayed for her suffering to go away, but only to be able to accept what God willed, asking for more strength to unite herself with God's will.
Yeah, that's absolutely beautiful. We're talking today with Amanda Zurface about the Guild for Sister Annella Zervas, a brand new servant of God that's been announced this past week out of the Bishops' Conference. And this is exciting news. This nun from Minnesota is being now considered for sainthood. And in this process, this diocesan phase, you're going to be going through interviewing as many people who know about her story. I assume all family members and close contacts have since passed, so perhaps you might call it a historical cause, and because of that, because of the date of her death. But still, you need to assemble this position paper, this Positio Super Virtutibus, this position paper about the virtues of her life, the big red book that gets sent to the dicastery for the cause of saints in Rome. What do you see as being her primary virtues that are going to be highlighted in this Positio when you get to that point?
Sure. So, yes, as you said, so this is an ancient cause, and so we have the opportunity to highlight her primary virtues. And if the cause is opened, we will, most specifically, I would say we'll focus on her remarkable testament to her complete availability to God and her willingness to embrace his will, no matter the cost. So she, as you'll read in the biography, she accepted everything from the Lord, including intense physical suffering, not praying for it to be taken away, but again, asking for the strength to do his will. So her profound surrender to God's plan led her to see her suffering as what she would call a quote-unquote ticket for eternity, and which she embraced willingly, saying it was well worth the price. And this virtue, her readiness to align her life entirely with God's will, even in suffering, I think will be a cornerstone of what is proposed to the Holy See. Sister Annella teaches the Church really a vital lesson, and that's the lesson of what to do with our pain. And, it's something we all experience. We all experience suffering in some form, and she shows us how to offer it back to God, allowing it to become a means of grace and transformation. Her life challenges us to consider, what will we do with our own personal suffering? And her example encourages us to unite our pain with Christ and to trust that when accepted in faith, suffering can bring us closer to God and be used for his greater glory. So this is the message she offers to the Church and the world, just really a witness of hope, redemptive suffering, and complete trust in God's providence that will be sure to highlight to the Holy See.
Beautiful. I think that people are going to get excited about this cause when they learn more about Sister Annella Zervas, who is the subject of this moving forward to advance her cause of sainthood. And I did get a little bit of an insider's look way back when about learning about Sister Annella, but I also heard that it was possible that maybe her cause was opened many, many years ago, and it had since simmered, you might say. What is the history behind the cause for Sister Annella Zervas?
Sure. Yeah, so as you can imagine, Sister Annella, her life of holiness left a profound impression on those who knew her, beginning with her own dad, her own father, Hubert Zurface, who was deeply convinced of her sanctity, and along with her two sisters, both of whom also became religious themselves, and many of her fellow convent sisters. Hubert, though, was among the first to advocate for a formal study of her life. So letters from this time provide testimony to Sister Annella's virtues and the profound impact she had on those around her, both before and during her trials of suffering. So these accounts detail her Catholic faith and an inspiring example of total surrender to God. But interest in Sister Annella's cause emerged almost immediately after her death, again, due to her father's advocacy, but also because of reports of favors and cures attributed to her intercession. So This devotion, which began in 1926, has steadily grown over the decades, leading to a renewed effort to formally examine her life and sanctity. And people have wondered if the cause had formally been opened, and it has not been. And so in October 2023, Bishop Andrew Cozzens, Bishop of the Diocese of Crookston, took a pivotal step by announcing his own intention to inquire into her life. And this announcement has led to the formation of the Sister Annella Guild, which is dedicated to sharing her story and securing the resources necessary for the canonical process if Bishop does indeed open the cause. And you had mentioned Patrick Norton earlier on in the show, but Patrick, who is a devoted advocate of Sister Annella and someone who has experienced her intercession personally, even having her appear to him, has played a crucial role in advancing her cause. His persistence and rallying support has been foundational to the foundation of the Guild. Just this past week, as you mentioned, the USCCB overwhelmingly voted in favor of moving Sister Annella's cause forward, which is a critical milestone in the process. And again, though the cause has not yet been officially open, the steps taken so far really reflect a deep and growing recognition of Sister Annella's example of a life lived totally for God.
Wonderful. And so what are the very next steps advancing this cause along?
Sure. So there's several steps, but the ones kind of in the near future include Bishop Cozzens, again, who is the Bishop of the Diocese of Crookston. He will conclude the consultation phase, with his final consultation being with the clergy and the faithful of the Diocese of Crookston. This gives them the opportunity to put forward any reason why the cause should not be pursued. And then after that, we will request what's called a nihil obstat from the Holy See, confirming there are no obstacles that the Holy See knows of to advance her cause. And then if the Holy See provides the nihil obstat, Bishop Cozzens can then discern if he will formally open the cause, which begins with the diocesan inquiry to gather the testimonies, the documents, and the evidence about her life and virtues.
Wonderful. It's a very long process. It takes many years usually. At least it isn't like the old days where it takes centuries, but it certainly takes years, if not decades, to move from getting out of the gate as a servant of God and then eventually making the way to saint. So we've got something to pray for related to Sister Annella Zervas. And so as we wrap up the interview today, Amanda, where can people find out more information? I know that people are probably curious about her biography, want to learn the details of her life, but they probably also want to find an intercessory prayer, perhaps to reach out to Sister Annella for their own needs.
Sure. We encourage all of the listeners to visit sisterannella.org, and there you can find the beatification prayer, requests for more information. The site offers updates, details about her life, and ways to support the cause as well. So again, sisterannella.org.
Wonderful. Well, we're so grateful to you, Amanda Zervas, the Diocesan Postulator for the Sister Annella Zervas Guild. Congratulations to you on this big announcement coming from the Bishops' Conference, and we'll be praying that this cause moves forward. Thank you so much for joining us on today's program.
Thank you, Michael. God bless.
God bless. That was Amanda Zervas, the Diocesan Postulator for the cause for Sister Annella Zervas. Brand new. This is something that was announced just last week. We're so excited to help make this announcement and to get the word out on Sister Annella Zervas. You can find out more if you go to sisterannella.org.